There have still been a lot of questions about the Gentle Parenting Nightmare Guy and the Renaissance Festival, and I'm going to clear this up all now, and this will be my final update on them because I don't enjoy talking about them because it was awful. Anyhow, so were the tickets in the kids' pockets? I assume that they were. I have no idea. My son and I went in without them. They got to have their behaviors in the parking lot, whatever. Eventually, the father, said that they bought new tickets and came in. Some insightful person in the comments said, I bet you that he actually looked for the tickets, so the kid got bored sitting in the car and chalked up the tickets. A lot of you assume they were in the pockets, asked me if they were in the kids' pockets. I don't know. The dad just claimed that he bought new tickets, and I'm sure he was going to claim anything that made him look most like the victim. And so a lot of you asked about that, and that covers that. Don't know where the tickets materialized from or if they actually bought new tickets. Why didn't he let the kid do anything in the Renaissance Fair? So I didn't know about that either. And I had already divorced myself from that relationship. We just had to get through the rest of the day. People are all like, why didn't you take an Uber? Why didn't you leave? There wasn't Uber then. I'm old. This was a long time ago. There was no Uber option, or else that would have been something I would have been happy to. Plus we were way out and far in the middle of nowhere. So I couldn't just Uber my ass out of there. And then so why didn't he let his kid do anything? Some very insightful person was like, was he really religious? The father. At that point that I was with him, he wasn't. He had kind of denounced his religion and stuff, but I knew him at a time before I ever dated him that he was extremely religious. And so her insight was that that he probably had an issue with some of these things because of religion. I am not well versed in all of that, but I thought that was very insightful, so that I'm sure probably had something to do with it. Did they leave the next day at 5 a.m.? Their asses were out. I just could not wait for them to get out of my house and out of my life. They were gone. Yes. A lot of people were really mad at me for saying that a 4-year-old kind of gave me the creeps or whatever, and that I didn't let him share a room with my child, who was also young. And they wanted to know the age differences. His was 4, mine was 5, both boys. And yeah, 4-year-olds with behavioral issues can be dangerous. I've had friends who have worked in residential facilities for children that have had to be removed out of the home for continuously causing harm to the other children in the home. This kid gave me bad vibes right away, and you're like, how dare you talk about a kid like that? That's a kid, blah, blah, blah. Kids can be dangerous. If you haven't had that experience, or, if you don't know that about children, maybe you should know that so you can make sure to protect your kids. But even the kid that bites all the other kids in daycare, or the kid that can't be in daycare because he gets kicked out of daycare because he's always hurting the kids in daycare, or he or she, it can be either way. So there are kids that pose a danger to other kids, and as parents, it's our responsibility to keep our children safe. So of course, I'm going to keep my child safe. And I think that's okay to say, especially for somebody who may not have that awareness. I worked, people are like, how on earth do you have the patience to deal with this? So my daily life, my profession was, implementing behavior plans to people with severe mental health and physical and mental disabilities and developmental disabilities. And so I'm talking fast, so I apologize if I said any of that wrong, and the language may have changed since I worked in that field, so I don't know. But anyway, so basically I implemented and I wrote and I did behavior plans all day for people with very severe behaviors. And so I had a lot of practice in patience. I had a lot of practice in dealing with behaviors. And I just I had a little bit of empathy for this kid. It may not have sounded like it, but it was kind of yes, he was a young child, and he had been evaluated. A lot of people were like, oh, I bet this and this is wrong with him. How dare you have an issue with people with this and this? It doesn't matter. If somebody has a diagnosis, that doesn't give them a pass. That doesn't mean you automatically have to like them. I worked with hundreds of people with all kinds of diagnoses, and some of them were absolutely great, and I loved hanging out with them. People are still people, with or without that. Anyhow, so the name. What did he call me? Y'all, he called me Clarice. And I think even the dad was like, oh shit, this seems weird. Because, yeah. So, like I said, the kid had already been evaluated. I had been given a heads up that there may be some issues. He had been evaluated, but there wasn't any diagnosis. And so I did have a little bit of a heads up to kind of expect, some stuff. So, anyhow, I didn't know it was going to be as bad as it was, though. And I didn't know the dad was going to be so horrible at dadding. He was so bad at it. And he was very manipulative. And a lot of people are like, oh, he was just looking for a stepmom. Maybe it wasn't going to be me. I think he jetted a little bit after that. I never talked to him again. People are like, where are they now? What are they doing now? I bet he's a nightmare. I have no idea. And yeah, I have no idea. So that's what I know about that. So, but he called me Clarice, and so the dad was like encouraged him, like, because like a lot of you may know that that's creepy. So then his backup name was Amber, and neither one of those are close to my name at all. So yeah, so his backup name was Amber, so he just called me Amber the entire time. After, you know, I was like, yeah, that's weird. And so yeah, creepy vibes. What else? So yeah, they left, never talked to him again. Good boundaries. A lot of people were like, I'm so glad that you put your child before this man. Of course I put this child, my child before this man. Of course, I would never, ever like do anything to harm a safe home and environment for my kid. But that was that. It was awful. A lot of people were like, I wish you were still with him so you'd have more stories. Whew. I think I dodged a bullet. I wasn't with him for very long. And then of course it all just, you know, once you know, you know. Like, if you know you don't want your kid to be around something, then that is it. Be done with it. Thank you.
It's Fun Fact Friday. Grab your mug. It is 34 degrees in Boston, and I don't like it. Just a ground rule, if I may. I've been seeing a couple comments, not a lot, but just a couple, where people are doing some internet digging, and it's not hard to do, I get it. And people are commenting the names of my family members on TikTok as sort of like, I found them. And I know the intention is good. And some of you are even validating to be like, oh, I saw this person and like her story checks out. Fine. But there's a reason why I'm not using names and pictures. I don't want to stoop to their level of doxing people, right? I know that they would do that to me in a heartbeat. I'm not going to do that. I don't want to do that. I don't want to bring that energy into my little orbit. So we're not going to do that. And just don't ruin it. Don't ruin it for the rest of us. I know the risks associated with going on the internet and telling stories about my family, but there just needs to be some trust here that if you do some digging, you're just gonna keep it to yourself and not dox people. Okay? Okay. So the other day I was talking about how luckily I am not marrying a man that is like my dad, which is a very common thing. But then I went down this sort of rabbit hole where a lot of men seek out women that are like their moms. And I know someone that's doing that. And I know a mom that is eating that up. Also, I'm not crying. My tea is just really hot. So not only has my family just not liked me, but I also don't look like them, which is really interesting. I don't look like my immediate family. I look a lot like my Nana, not nanny, but I look a lot like my Nana because half of my family is like French, Russian, like tan, brown hair. The other half of my family is English, pale, lighter hair. So it was really tough for me when my mom was telling me that I must be adopted because I don't look like her. I don't look like her. I don't look like my brother. I guess I kind of look more like my dad because at least he's pale. But I have never looked like my mom or my brother. And so going out and about, people would ask, you know, who's that? And I'd be like, it's my mom. Like, we just don't look alike. And my mom's, one of her favorite activities is to find girls that look like her to be like, oh, she looks more like my daughter than my daughter. Like, loves to say that. And my little brother started dating a girl who looks exactly like my mom. To the point where my mom would look at photos of her, the girlfriend, and on a quick glance be like, I don't remember taking that photo. And I would think that if I was the mother, that might give me pause. I might not love that. My mom loves it. She loves it. She'll actually go on social media and will call her daughter, and call me the other daughter. So yeah, they take photos together, they'll wear matching outfits, they have the exact same haircut and color. Yeah, it's uncanny. Like, you can't tell who's who from the back. We had an outing, all of us, at one point, like years ago, and someone came, I think it was a waiter, came up to us, we were all out at dinner, was like, oh my God, you look just like your mom, talking to his girlfriend. And she looks at the waiter and she's like, no, that's not my mom, that's my boyfriend's mom. And my mom goes, oh, I know, she looks more like my daughter than my other daughter. My mom only has one daughter, so to be called the other daughter when the other daughter that you're referencing is just like fully not family and dating your son. Yep. And it's funny because people have been asking, like, how come people didn't notice that you were being treated so badly? Because this was all done behind closed doors. If we were out in public, the little digs and stuff would be so, like, only I would know. Only if you were kind of in on the joke would you know what she was doing. It was never anything like out in public, like big displays. No. And my mom was so lovey and maternal to random people. Like, my mom became really close with this family that had a little girl in her neighborhood, and she would like bring this little girl over. It's like, what, as I'm an adult, like, this is honestly like in recent years, would like bring this little girl over and they're baking together and they're making dinner and they're watching movies, and I'm like, what is going on? Yeah. And my mom would be working in different like retail stores and liquor stores, and when I would visit, there would be so many girls that would be like, oh, like, your mom is like my mom here, we all call her our mom. Must be nice. But yeah, no, my mom absolutely like eats up the fact that her precious little angel boy is dating a girl that is genuinely her replica. Oedipus much? My brother definitely would not even get the Oedipus reference. I don't think he can read. Happy Fun Fact Friday!
I saw this question and I thought it's really great, and I thought I'd have to answer it. Yes, all the time. I left when I was 16, now I'm 22, and it still does impact my day-to-day life. I have this constant fear, well, I guess that's more anxiety and possibly PTSD. I have this constant fear that everybody is mad at me all the time, and it happens with anybody, any adult that's older than me. I immediately, my go-to is, they're mad at me, what can I do to make the situation better? Maybe it has turned me into a little bit of a people pleaser, because that's all my brain really knows when I talk to a person. It's like it's an immediate scan. I try to scan people's emotions and where they're at, and if they're angry, are they angry at me? Are they angry at something else? What can I do to help the situation? There's a lot going on up here. When anything goes wrong, my brain catastrophizes a lot, because I for years was so used to something going wrong and then a huge blowout, a catastrophe. Everything was just blown so much out of proportion that that's what my normal was. I remember when I first went into treatment, everybody was complaining about the food. And I remember sitting there thinking, oh my God, we have so much food. And for a long time, I think until I was really in treatment, I didn't realize that I was attractive, because even as I grew up, more people would start telling me that I was conventionally attractive. My mom would be on the other side telling me that I looked weird and alien, and I think I still struggle with thinking I look like a little demon, a little goblin, if you will. Another big shock I had when I went to treatment was I really did think that I was the spawn of Satan. I thought that I was the worst child. I was sneaky and downloading Snapchat, smoking some weed here and there, and stealing my papa's wine. But I was 16 and doing what any normal 16-year-old does. That's what it took me so long to realize, was that I literally was being a teenager. You're supposed to act out. You're supposed to do those things. But in a normal, healthy environment, you're going to do those things safely, and your parent is going to be there making sure you're okay, not caging you in your house. So like the smallest thing that you do, it's literally World War Z. So it took me so long to realize that I was not a terrible, terrible kid, and I'm not a horrible, horrible person. But for so many years, my mom had told me I'm a slut, I'm an awful human, I'm a whore, all this stuff. So of course you're gonna believe it a little bit. I think the biggest things that I realized was that my body was my own. When I first got in treatment, one of the rules was you couldn't use the bathroom alone. It was called foot in the door. So the staff would have to put their foot in the door as you showered, as you used the restroom. And a lot of girls were spooked by that. But I was so used to using the bathroom with the door open and my mom not letting me really close anything or have any privacy. So for me, it wasn't like such a shock. Also, for a long time, like even in treatment, when I started to get my privileges and I could shut the door, and when I left treatment and I didn't have any of that anymore, I felt myself literally feeling guilty in my brain for allowing myself to have privacy. Like when I would shut my door and like lock it, it took me forever to actually lock things. Privacy, it literally felt weird to me. I was like, am I gonna get in trouble? Am I allowed to do this? Do I have the right to do this? And then I was like, wait, I've had the right this whole time. I've just not been able to do it. So yeah, that is, I really love when you guys ask me things because I like telling you. So, have a good day. Me and Jackson are in Seattle right now. It is our 5-month anniversary. So we will just be going around, doing whatever.
It's in Pike's Place Market. So
Yeah,
hello.
does anybody have any suggestions? Because we're going to be here.
Well, technically, you're.
I'm an alcoholic. I'm in recovery. I'm also an addict. I'm in recovery. I've been sober for 5 years. Let's get ready to fly back to LA while I tell you guys another story that is one of the reasons I decided to get sober. So this story, I do remember bits and pieces of the story. I browned out this night, so it wasn't like a complete blackout, but I browned out and I did a lot of just weird things this evening. So the timing on this story, I don't know. It must have been before my senior year because that's when I got sober the first time. Everything blended together, so I really have no idea. But we'll just call it summertime between the years of 2014 and 2016 at some point. Me and my friend get invited to this party on the west side of LA. I haven't spent a lot of time on the west side. I'm from like the east side of LA. Going to the west side was like, ooh, we're going to the west side. We get invited to this little party. We hear it's like a birthday party for somebody that we don't know. I was like, if there's drinking involved and it's something we're invited to, I was going to be there. The only way that I would drink at this point in my drinking, later down the road, as I got towards the end, I drank alone. But at this point, I needed like some sort of event or something or some other people to be drinking with. So I invited to this, and I'm sure that I just pressured my friend into going. I pressured my friend into going, and my house was kind of the pregame house for whatever reason. I don't know why. Maybe because I felt like I could control the alcohol there, whatever. She asked if her friend could come, and I was like, great, yes, the more the merrier. I don't have like that many people I can go out with at this point. I hadn't lost everybody yet. Again, I don't think I had started college, so I don't really know like the friend situation. She asked if her friend could come and I was like, absolutely, the more the merrier. Let's get the party started. This girl comes over and I think she like brings a bottle of wine. At this point, I'm not drinking wine yet. I haven't really explored that. All I've been drinking pretty much throughout my drinking career is shots, anything anybody put in front of me. We were really big on this like peach mango Svedka white bottle with like ombre. I don't know. I'm not sure. Mike's Harder Lemonade was a big thing. Smirnoff Ice. Whatever was in front of us, we were drinking, but this girl brings over a bottle of wine. I think like they're drinking it and I'm like, whatever, I'm pre-gaming drinking shots or whatever I'm doing. We decide, okay, we're gonna Uber over to the west side. It's quite a bit of an Uber. We had to make sure that we brought alcohol with us because God forbid I was not losing my buzz. Oh no. We had to bring alcohol with us in the car. Pretty sure I packed like a little bottle of probably Svedka. She brings the bottle of wine, my friend's friend. Large emphasis at this point on the fact that I don't know whose house we're going to. No idea. Didn't care. There were other people there partying. I'm going. We get in this Uber. Driver, I would never forget, was like this really nice, like older man. 3 of us are in the back. She has the bottle of wine and I'll never forget, spills. Bottle of wine everywhere. I remember like where we were turning even when it spilled. We were turning onto this main road right by my house. We didn't make it very far. Shocking. Spilled it everywhere and we're like, oh God. He can't know that we have an open container and also this is gonna cost money if we get a fee. I don't know if he kind of knew what was going on and was just cool. I have no idea. I can't imagine he wouldn't know. Like I remember in my head, so delusional in my drinking, I was like, we're really like we're covering this up. Like we got it. Covered it up with like wiped it with a jacket. It was like, what's that smell? You guys okay back there? We were just like, yeah, like we're fine, like no problem, no worries. I obviously feel really bad about that because we just like trashed the guy's car. And I look back on like me like retelling stories of my drinking and like maybe you're like, oh, that's so funny, I can't believe you did that. It is not funny. That is horrible that I did that. It's regrettable doing those things, and looking back on my drinking, it's just like indicative of how I was. I was so selfish. I just didn't care about anything but myself and the party. We're driving there, I'm stuck in traffic. My friend's friend, she has to go to the bathroom. We're on the freeway, we're on an off-ramp. This is Los Angeles, right? So this is not exactly like the suburbs. She gets out of the car, she goes to the side of the road and she goes to the bathroom. I should have stopped her. I should have been like, girl, no, like get back in the car, we're almost there. I know that that's not me, and you're maybe like, well, Jordan, you haven't done anything bad in the story yet. But bigger picture is like the situations I put myself in. I should have stopped my friend. Like I shouldn't have let her go out and do that and been like, oh my God, that's so funny she's doing that. That's not funny, that's really dangerous. I should have had her back. If her going to the bathroom was gonna get us to the party faster so I could keep drinking, fine. So whatever, we get to this party. Again, I literally don't even know where we are. I know we're on the west side of LA, like Brentwood area, maybe Palisades, I'm not sure. I want to say it was Pacific Palisades. Get to this guy's house. Don't remember whose birthday it was. Could not tell you. Again, I'm browning out, so I don't remember a ton. I remember a taco stand. I remember a large Polish man. And I remember singing happy birthday. That's about it. I'm in this situation with these people. I think I like maybe know a couple people there like through the grapevine. Like there was a friend of a friend of a friend. Like that's how we got invited. But again, I am just like drinking with these people I don't know. I remember a few girls being there and they were cool. Like I have no clue. The fact that like this was not the only night that I had like this, but I was just going to strangers' houses, being around like random people. I know there's like no weird consequence in the story yet, but like again, it's just weird. Like what am I doing these things? Like I didn't care where I was going as long as there was a party. We're at this party and we're doing the whole birthday thing. Again, literally no clue whose birthday it is. Could not tell you. And we decide that we're gonna go to a little after party at this guy's house down the street. Again, person I did not know. Getting ready to go to this other guy's house. I want to Uber. The only way to get there is this guy who is insisting he will drive. He's insisting he will drive and he's been drinking. I've talked to you guys about drinking and driving before. It's something that I did do a few times that is incredibly regrettable. I never condone drinking and driving. Not funny. It is not something to be talked about lightly. You know how many people it has affected, taken things away from that they can never get back. So this guy was trying to get us to go in the car. He's like, I'm gonna drive. And I really didn't feel comfortable with it. And I was like, I really don't want to get in the car with somebody who's drinking. Like I just don't like F with that. That's not my MO. I don't want to do that. Long story short, I pretty much had no backbone and was convinced to ride in the car with him, clutching my seat the entire time. I freaking hated it. And I was drinking. What did I do? I wanted people to like me. So I'm sure, I don't remember exactly my thought process, but I'm sure it had something to do with like, don't be lame. Come on. You gotta do what they want you to do. You gotta be cool. You gotta be the cool girl. Whatever, we get to this after party. Luckily, everybody is safe. And it's like literally the weirdest, most awkward thing. It's like in this guy's house with like family portraits everywhere. And I was like, where are we? Do remember leaving. We called an Uber and we left. This one guy tried to kiss my friend on the way out. Like it was very strange. I just remember leaving and being like, what? Was that all worth it, Jordan? Like, what was that strange escapade I just went on? Just what? To be a part of the party? How was the party? Because it was like a 2 out of 10, Anyway, we did make it home safe and sound. Everything was okay. And I just remember waking up the next morning and just feeling horrible and sitting at the breakfast table at my house. And the three of us were just like, what did we do? Luckily, there were no major consequences from that night, but it is still something that I like to look back on to remember, like just the compromising situations I would put myself in when I was drinking, just desperately wanting to be a part of the function or whatever was going on and just wanting to be cool. When in reality, it wasn't cool to be doing those things. It would have been cool to just be myself and be safe. So just what are the weird things that I like forced my friends to do throughout my drinking career? Do you know what I mean? Like, I was just so selfish. I love you guys. Bye.
In 8th grade, before I even knew what Tavarsky was, I was trying out every single thing, like literally anything that I could get my hands on, because the friend that literally came over, she was an alcoholic down. That's low-key the only reason that she did come over was because literally I was allowed to get alcohol somehow, I don't know, but we were able to get it, right? So all I remember is one time she was asking what we should drink and this and blah, 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 because it was like a Friday night or something like that, and she came to stay the night, and obviously we're not just gonna hang out and like, you know, be friends. She had to get something out of it. So she was like, let's drink, let's do it, let's find something, and she was like, oh my god, I know Fireball is really good, you'll love it, and yeah, she told me the cinnamon, and I was like, oh my god, yeah, like, I'm so gonna fucking love it. I didn't. Long story fucking long, I didn't. We got it. We started taking shots of that shit, and this was around the time when I first started drinking. Like, I already drank a little bit, but I first started drinking, so baby, I was, like, not understanding that, like, you're supposed to take a shot, chill a little bit. No, I was just back to back to back to back to back to back to back. Y'all already know, I literally went, I fell into, I don't know what it was like a big fucking mud hole or something like that. It was either my dad was putting the fucking pool in, or it was the neighbors, I don't remember, but I fell into it. Got really muddy, really gross, it was bad. I woke up the next day, my carpet was completely black. Like, bitch, my carpet was white when I went to sleep. There was mud everywhere, dirt, all of it. I literally called the bitch that I was with, and I was like, what the fuck happened? Because I was clean, my bed was clean, I was so confused, but she was already gone. She was already motherfucking gone. Because I slept. Like, bitch, I slept. So she sends me all the videos, tells me, bitch, that was you that did it. That was you. I cleaned you up, got you as good as I could, because she did. Real one on that one, I guess. But the rest of my house was a fucking mess. Like, it literally looked like a disaster, and I was like, oh my god, my dad's gonna literally fucking kill me. He really did. I promise you, he did not give a fuck about me. Clearly from these stories, if you could not tell. But besides the point, this was 8th grade, and I literally had a friend that was probably like a junior or something like that. Maybe a sophomore, junior, senior. I really don't know. But she was in high school. She was really cool. Me and her have been friends forever. Like, literally since young, right? So she became, like, popular as fuck in high school, okay? And she was still friends with me. And this is what was crazy, because, like, this was my hate train era. Like, my hate train era, like, trust me, like, they hated me down. So, she was always genuine to me. Thank you so much. So, I went over to her house. I got over to her house. That was the next day. Let's just say that Fireball was not setting. It really wasn't. The next day, too, I'm, like, 13, 14, babe, and I was having, like, a different type of heartburn. Like, I don't think you guys fucking realize how bad this shit was. It was so embarrassing. She had all her little friends over, all her older friends, bitch. Like, I was literally like, what the fuck is this child doing here? I was literally sitting there puking in that fucking bathroom because, babe, I needed that shit out my fucking lungs. Then later that night, everyone wanted to go outside and they wanted to do some gardening shit. And, baby, at this time, I have not done it as much as I should, right? Did I do it? I did. Did I make a fool of myself and act fucking stupid? Probably. Probably. That same night, I get a call. And it's one of the friends from the town over from the party town, okay? It's not the girl's house that I go to, but it's one of her friends. Calls me, is like, what are you doing? Blah, 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 blah. Do you want to hang out? Blah, blah, blah. So I get picked up by her, and the next thing you know, we do go to the party town. Duh. And then we ended up going to the party girl's, like, house and stuff like that. You know what I mean? While we're there, you already know there's Tavarsky or more alcohol. All I know is that there's definitely more fucking alcohol somewhere. So we drank more and more. And I really don't remember if this was the night that we broke into the fucking, it was like a not a ping pong, but like a paintball place. It was a huge building. Like paintball guns and stuff like that, and people would like play in there, and it was abandoned, so we like literally broke into it. It gave very much scary, it gave very much spooky, or it was just a random another like party night where we literally just went over there and drank a little bit, and there's nothing really juicy to that. But honestly, I don't remember. It was a fun night, and that's just another random night of my 8th grade experience.
You guys should feel
fucking disgusted in yourselves that I have to come on here at this time of night. I haven't been able to sleep at all today or yesterday because of this. I know I haven't said that, but I'm also sober for being laced. And I have a syndrome that now is with me my whole fucking life. And that was my best friend you guys are talking about in the comments, in videos. I am so fucking done. I've talked to Dagmara as much as I could. I'm so done with you guys. I'm a fucking bitch if you want me to be one, and I hate it. I hate it. I hate being mean. I hate being mean. But fuck, you guys are ruthless. That's all I could do to defend myself. You gave me 1 month, and I don't even know what date it is, but I think like 7 days. 1 month and 7 days, and then you guys switch. My eyes are literally red, and I haven't smoked in 2 fucking weeks. I was planning on making a video tomorrow when I felt better, but after the Samorify video, it honestly motivated me even more to post like this, because fuck you. Take a screenshot of this and remember it, because I am a human being too. Sousa, you would, if she was here, she would text me, because she would hate getting involved in drama. Hold on, quickly, when, sorry, this is so insane for me to cry. You guys are actually gonna think I'm crazy now because I look like this and I'm coming on here like this, but I have to do this. But there would be times when she would text me to go comment on other people's posts. I have a secret account, no one knows about it, and I would comment the most ruthless shit on my main and my secret. I fucking love that girl. So Dagmara, if you see this, I know you're gonna be like, oh fuck, it got to you. And I know you're gonna be like, damn. But Dagmara, I literally had to. People are slandering me for speaking about your daughter. And you would be so disappointed. And oh my god, if you guys even knew Dagmara and her mom like I do, you wouldn't be saying half the shit you are. One of the last things Sousa said is that she would send signs. I have been given so many today that she loves me. Search up the angel number 333 for me and then come back and put it in the comments, because that's what I saw, and I didn't just see it on the clock, guys. It was really fucking weird. Oh, I miss her. My heart, as Dagmara would say, aches. Aches for her if you're even still watching this. Fuck you. Fuck you. I am gonna stay on TikTok. I'm gonna keep on posting. I will keep on replying to your fuck ass comments. Sousa would have wanted me to. You know what you would say, Smart, get your fucking money up. That's what she would say. With the amount of views on my Snapchat. Fuck you guys. Have a good day.
Hey guys, get ready with me for school, except I'm running late again. I don't know if you guys can tell, but I literally slept with my mascara on the night before, and I just put my hair in a ponytail. Like, these are my curls that I slept in. I have an anatomy quiz today about the bones, so wish me luck. I literally failed the last bone quiz, so hopefully I pass this one. Guys, I low-key want to decorate for Christmas today. I've been getting in that mood, but I don't know if I have time. I also can't find my Christmas tree, which is weird because that tree is like 7 feet tall. I will quite literally never understand the saying that adults say, like, high school is the best years of your life. No, it's not. I literally promise you it's not, because these will not be the best years of my life. I literally entered high school as the happiest little girl in the world, and now I just want to like, I can't. I genuinely feel like my 20s will be the best years, because I'll be freshly out of college, traveling the world, hopefully with the love of my life, and still being reckless with responsibilities. Anyways, time to use my favorite lippy, the Hard Candy Lip Butter Glowy Balm. My favorite thing about this is how, like, long the shine lasts, and it's, like, not sticky at all. I hate sticky lip glosses. It also comes in 5 different flavors, so go cop. My all-time favorite, though, is definitely the coconut. Anyways, bye, love you guys.
Happy Starbucks Christmas menu day! If you do not think that I'm up almost 30 minutes earlier to get a drink today, you are wrong. It is like absolutely freezing outside, but I really like this outfit, and it is in fact a jean skirt, but it's so cute, so I have to wear it. It shows that like right now it's like 40 degrees, but the high today is like 73, so. This is the first time I've done my makeup since Halloween, and I just realized that because all of my stuff was still packed away in like a little bag, and I was like, where's all my makeup? And that's where it all was. I need to literally go find a cup that I can use, because the rule at my school is like no outside drinks, so I cannot bring my Starbucks into that school, so I'm gonna pour it into a different cup so that they don't know. If any faculty from my school is watching this, I'm sorry, please don't take it from me. I promise I won't spill it. I'm just joking. I don't think any teachers from my school would be watching this, and yeah, that would be a little bit weird. My tan is like basically kind of mostly gone. Like, I look at old pictures and I'm like, dang, like I am not that color anymore, and low-key, it's kind of sad because it's kind of giving me like the uglies. I'm just so used to myself being dark because I get so dark in the summer. I could literally just be outside for 10 minutes and get a tan. So this is really weird. I don't like it. I actually like jumped out of bed this morning. My first alarm went off at 6:30, and of course that's just so I can like snooze it and then go back to bed. But then when my one at 7 went off, like I got up so easily. It was probably the easiest I've gotten up in like a long time. And I don't know if it's just because I'm excited, but for it being a Thursday and I got up that fast, I was like really proud of myself. Okay, high key, I am feeling the uglies right now. Like, I know I was just talking about it, and now I'm like, my wish this won't open, but now I'm like looking in the mirror and I'm like, but I'm actually doing so good on time. I wanted to go downstairs in 4 minutes, and I will probably be downstairs earlier than that because my makeup's already almost done, like, period. But I am so excited to go get my drink. I think I'm gonna get like a chai from there. I don't know. I really like chai. Okay, guys, I'm all ready for school, so that's today's Get Ready With Me, but I love you guys so much. Bye.
Okay, story time on how I met up with my ex again a couple of days ago after being blocked on everything for a month. So I'm not gonna tell the exact reason, like, why I got blocked. Just know, like, it was valid. Like, it was very valid. But anyway, so Sunday, right? I didn't have my phone because it had got left in my dad's office. And so none of us were about to go, like, up there and get it the day of, or on Sunday. And so next day, my au pair had brought it back from my dad's office. And so I get on it, and I see he texted me. Mind you, I've been blocked on everything, like Snap, my main, my spam, my TikTok, my everything. And so I see his text, and I'm like, oh my gosh. And so I text him back, I said, sorry, I didn't have my phone. So this is a Monday, right? Everyone's supposed to be at school, but I had stayed home from school because something happened. And so I asked him, I'm like, are you at school? Because I know he doesn't really like be on his phone at school. He said, no, I'm at home. I said, I'm coming. He said, right now? I said, yes. He said, okay, text me when you're on the way. Mind you, I had just been blocked. I just got unblocked. I was like, you don't know how happy I was. So I get my keys, I get in my car, I leave. Didn't even get ready or anything. I put my hair up and like, I didn't even take my time. I just went. Anyway, so I get there. He opens the door a little bit, looks out the crack, And we just like look at each other and start laughing because like, what are we doing? Like, and mind you, whenever I did get blocked, like I told all my friends, I was like, I know I'm gonna get unblocked eventually. It's just a matter of time, you know? And also, you know, those parties I went to this weekend, so that Get Ready With Me that I was talking about, like I might see my ex there, that was the one. And we didn't even end up getting to go to those parties. We like walked around downtown instead and went to like different parties the next day. So I was mad already about that, but then I ended up seeing him anyways. And so yeah, I was so happy to see him. Like, y'all don't understand. I really needed to see him too, because like something had happened to my family, like I said, and like I just needed to see him. And literally, he's the person I was checking for from my phone. Like, am I unblocked? I was unblocked. And like, we literally just chilled, listened to our music, and then, oh, and mind you, why I love this boy so much is because he's never tried anything with me, like literally nothing. We actually just chill, and I just love it because like we can just love each other by just chilling. You know what I mean? Because I don't do stuff with guys in general, and he's never even tried it. You know what I mean? Anyways, and then we go to a girls' basketball game at his school, and like he's already telling me, he's like, bro, if I go here, I'm gonna get caught up. I was like, okay, we don't have to go because I don't want him to get caught up. Like, me and him are nothing. Like, I wouldn't want to get caught up either. You know what I mean? And so I'm like, we don't have to go. We can stay right here. Like, I don't want you to get in trouble with your other little boo things. He was like, no, we can just go. Whatever. We get there, literally, like, there's some federal people there. They have one of his little boos on the call. Like, they, like, shoved the camera in his face. They were, like, showing him the phone. But he was sweet. He was, like, hugging on me. He was like, this is my wife. I don't care. He's like, I don't care if y'all see me, whatever. The whole team was staring. The whole JV was sitting on the bench. They were staring. I felt like I was, like, I don't know, all the attention was on us because, mind you, he had already popped out with me, like, we weren't even dating at this point, but he has popped out with me once or twice or something, and so I don't know, but we were the center, like, everyone was just staring, and everyone was like, It wasn't even too many people there, but the people that were there were staring, you know what I mean? Anyway, so it's really good, and then I go and drop him off, and I was gonna go to a party with him that night, but I was too tired. I stayed in. And we haven't talked since. I'm not gonna lie to you. We have not talked since, but we're forever. Like, we're never ending. I literally told my friends, I was like, I know he's gonna block me. It's just a matter, unblock me. It's just a matter of time. Because he's blocked me so many times before, and the whole unblock. This was the longest he's, like, stayed, or, like, kept me blocked. Normally it's, like, an hour, and then he'll call me and be like, come on. I'm outing him. If he sees this, he's gonna be mad at me. It's okay. I love you. And okay, people thought he was old in that. He's not old. He's literally my age. Like, he's 1 year older than me, but he just turned that. He's like 6 months older than me. Okay, y'all. Bye.
Hi guys, I've had a pretty shardy day, so I'm gonna show you guys my night routine and how I make myself feel better. Okay, I've been crying, which means I'm gonna wake up with extremely puffy eyes. First, I'm just gonna remove my makeup. I'm gonna use the Clinique cleansing balm. I've been using this. I pretty much like cried off all my makeup anyways, so I just got my nails done and I'm so happy with them. I told myself I'm not gonna cry on the internet anymore, but technically I'm not crying anymore, so it doesn't really count. We all have bad days, and today is just one of those days. So I'm gonna do a little self-care night so I don't wake up feeling like shart. Okay, there literally is not much to remove. I chose the perfect day to like bawl my eyes out because I'm redoing my lashes tomorrow, so. Okay, I just rinsed my face. I'm gonna take a quick like body shower. I'm not washing my hair tonight, so it shouldn't take too long. Hey guys, I'm out of the shower. Got my little robe on, my skincare headband. Now we're gonna do some skincare. This is like the favorite part of my night. I'm starting off with these collagen toner pads from Biodance. Also, I just washed my face with this thing in the shower. I was just on the phone with my mom. I'm so grateful to have such a good mom because talking to my mom in like situations like these, when I feel like doo-doo, is the best. She gives me the best advice, and honestly, I think I've just been missing her like a lot. Last time I saw her was like 2 months ago, which honestly isn't that bad. We've gone a lot longer, but I've just been missing her extra recently. It's so weird to think that I don't live at home anymore and I can't just like go see mom whenever I want to. But I'm going home for Christmas as per usual. So I'm gonna see her and my sisters. And I feel like we haven't all been together in so long. Also, my oldest sister just got married and her wedding is next year in Taiwan and I'm so excited. Oh my fucking. I'm gonna use this eye cream from Dior Beauty. Really nice like applicator, and I think it'll be really nice and cooling and soothing on my under eyes. Nothing much I can do about my puffy eyes in the morning, as in like right now, so I'm just doing the best that I can because either way I'm gonna wake up with extremely puffy eyes tomorrow morning. I mentioned this in my other video, but I've also been using this Chanel moisturizer and it feels so good on my skin. Something's like in the air. I just feel like a Debbie Downer these days, but doing my skincare makes me feel so good. I'm gonna wake up tomorrow and it's gonna be a fantastic day because it's Friday. Also, I just ordered a bunch of these like babe lash serums. I've heard like good things about it on TikTok, so I thought I'd just try it out. My lashes are getting destroyed underneath these lashes, so literally just gonna put it on top of it. Oh, thick applicator. I'm gonna do all three. This one's the amplifying serum. This one's the enchanting conditioner. Last but not least, this one's apparently the most popular one. This one's the essential serum, which is just the regular. Oh, I got that in my eye. Ooh, this shit kind of hurt. That means it's gonna work. Okay, final step. I'm just gonna do my Ole Henriksen lip balm. Tastes delicious. Almost forgot to put pimple patch on this giant thing. Okay. I'm just about to go to bed, but I'm gonna put on these Rode eye patches because they're depuffing eye patches, which is perfect. Look how cute they are. I'm probably gonna put these on in the morning too. One right there and one right there. Perfect. Okay, I'm in bed. Gonna watch TV now. Bye, guys.
Very exciting news. We are getting a pool. I am so excited. They're doing it in like November, December. Hopefully we'll be ready by the end of December, but I'm not sure. I'm going to show you guys what it looks like now, what the past like 1 to 5 days of them doing the construction work has been. And then I'll try to post like real time. There just hasn't been a lot that's happened. So I'm just going to group it together in this first video, and I've kind of been slacking. But I'm going to group it together in this first video, and then I'll try to update real time. My backyard currently looks like construction zone city, and there's like all this dirt back here, but they like finally have everything set up. They're gonna come and do like the all the piping and stuff for the jacuzzi. That's gonna be the jacuzzi right there. And then we are gonna be like, here, I'll show you, we are gonna be like painting all of this, but this is what we currently look like. If you're interested in following me along with this pool journey, come along, let's see it. And then hopefully by the end of December, January, I will be jumping into my new pool, and I cannot freaking wait. Okay, welcome to day 1 of our pool build. We've lived in Florida for years. We've lived here for a while. They dug all of our grass up and they put the framework right here. So you see we've got our little mound over here. It is November 1st, and they're gonna come back on the 3rd and dig all this up. We did have to retrench and redirect our water line over there. So it was going straight through the backyard, and we're gonna have it go, or my husband actually already did it to where it's going around on the side. So this is gonna be our pool here, and we're gonna have a little jacuzzi over on this side and a deck over on this side. And then, like I said, they're gonna bring the pavers all the way up here. And we can't wait to redo it out here because I actually hate this color very much. And then I think we're gonna paint our doors black. Get some new furniture out here. Hopefully it'd be like a brand new oasis out here. Like I said, we're gonna paint all those doors black. And then I don't know what color we're gonna pick. Something a little bit more neutral though. This blue is just very loud. Get some new furniture out here. So if you want to follow along the journey and see it go from this to a pool, I'll take you along. We'll see how long this journey takes, and I'll document every little thing. Thank goodness they're doing it right now where it's November, December, maybe January, where it's a little cooler. So that way when it gets really hot, we will have that pool just in time for the summer. Look how deep they've already dug everything. It's insane. Day 2 of the pool. So they came out and dug everything, kind of set this back up, all the frame and everything. And hopefully they'll come and do some of the rebar and stuff like that. And then fingers crossed Friday that they come and do the concrete, the goodnight, and shoot all that. That'll like really bring it together. But yesterday was the first day that I was like, oh, like it's real, like it's happening.
Join the live and comment LeBron James. Struggles of being a tall girl and how I started loving my height. For reference, I am 5'9" and am the tallest in my family. Double homicide. Obviously, when you're a tall girl, you're gonna have big feet. The fuck? Like, that's just how tall girls are structurally made. That's how we, like, are able to achieve the tallness. And obviously, girls hit puberty faster than boys. So just imagine a baddie, 5'7", basically hovering over every single person in elementary school. So not only am I taller than every other bitch, I have a size woman's 7 in shoe. Right, Leo? Exactly. You know that baddie from Proud Family with the big feet? That's how a baddie felt every single day. Let's not even get to the names that they literally refer to me as. Bigfoot. And since we're talking about the name callings and what people used to call tall girls, school, I used to get called Tree, Slender Man, Daddy Longlegs. 9 times out of 10, the people that were making fun of my height were short kings. Okay, I guess reminded them of their insecurity. I don't know. And God forbid we come around a pick-me that's short, because they will always mention how they're just small and tiny, and like you just remind them of how much of a big bitch you are. Being around a pick-me when you're a tall girl will just always be so diabolical, because I was hanging out with the pick-me, me and my crush, right? My crush had mentioned how he just really loves like short women, and this pick-me always had to bring up how tall I are, talking about, oh, like how's the air up there? One of the biggest downfalls of being a tall girl has to do with having like jeans that don't go past your ankles. You feel like you're the tallest person, you kind of like slouch a little bit because you want to be everyone else's height, or even in photos you kind of slouch so you're like equal height as them. I feel like that's the biggest disgrace you can do to yourself, because God blessed you as being a tall baddie and kind of like height mogging all these people, and you're really just gonna slouch and be like every other bitch. Girl, what are you doing? Like, I had a revelation one day, sophomore year of high school, and I was like, no, actually I love being tall. Let's talk about how to start loving your tallness, because it's something that is just so tea that no one can buy. Like, there's no surgery that someone can go get to get the same feature that you have. Girls literally will wear heels to be your height, and you don't even have to wear heels, even though you should, because I feel like that is even more tea when tall girls wear heels. Biggest flex is that you literally have a height of a supermodel. What do you mean you hate being tall? To all the tall baddies out there, realize that your height is a fucking blessing, and do not be ashamed of it, because it's tea. Finished makeup look, I will be posting more on YouTube, so please go subscribe. The link is in the bio. As always, I love you guys so much. Bye.
Do y'all ever be scrolling through the gram and then come across those posts that are super sexist, and then when you comment being like, what the fuck is this, somebody's like, oh my god, you fell for the rage bait? That's not rage bait, friend. That's just somebody being a piece of shit and like disguising it as rage bait. So as a self-proclaimed queen of rage bait, I'm gonna tell you how to properly rage bait without getting canceled or just being a piece of shit. Social media edition, okay? So one of my favorite tactics is to talk about things that I know the general mass likes, okay, and say how I don't like it. For example, I know people don't play about Billie Eilish. I know people don't play about Michael Jackson. I've made videos talking about artists that like I'm not the biggest fan of, and obviously I would mention Michael Jackson and Billie Eilish for a reason. I knew it would piss people off. I knew people would be in my comment section cussing me out every 5 seconds. That boosts my engagement. That's why I did it. Now sometimes it gets taken out of hand, and then people will start making videos about you and just like tearing you apart for it. So you gotta be prepared for that, okay? Obviously, like, I wasn't lying about how I felt about like Michael Jackson or Billie Eilish or whoever the fuck, you know, I was talking about. That's my genuine honest opinion of them, but obviously I made sure to mention them because I knew like it would boost my engagement. Duh. Now that is how you rage bait. Obviously I make little jokes being like, oh my god, I'm canceled for like not liking Michael Jackson. Obviously I didn't fucking get canceled, but you know what I mean. Now the second method is super lighthearted and kind of funny. Do something really, really bad and then post yourself making it seem like you did really good. For example, do your makeup really, really bad, okay? And then post a video of being like, oh my god, my makeup's so good. What do you guys think about it? It's gonna piss people off because they're like, oh my god, how are you sitting here saying like your makeup is so good when in reality it looks really fucking bad? But like the whole time is like, you know it looks bad, but you're posting it to get people to comment and engage and boost your shit. Or something super similar that also really works well. I've done a few videos where I'm like, oh my god, don't steal my hairstyle. And then I would do the most basic fucking hairstyle in the world. And like most normal people would be there like, oh, like obviously this is rage bait. Like, okay, next, like move on to the next video. But you would be really fucking surprised how many people get so mad at shit like that and will be in your comments just like cussing you out. And that boosts your engagement. Not only does this boost your engagement, it's also funny and it doesn't like hurt your reputation or like, you know, shit like that. It's just like you can rage bait and troll without being disgusting. I don't know. I never really understood, you know, rage baiting with like racism, when you can rage bait in a harmless way and it worked just as good, if not better. You know? And also, for those of y'all who don't know, if you have to announce the fact that you're rage baiting, you didn't do it right.
I suddenly had a family. It all happened so fast. I, a 31-year-old male, married my wife, a 31-year-old female, 2 months ago. But how it happened was not exactly planned because she had a cryptic pregnancy. My wife did not know she was pregnant until less than 2 weeks before he was born. It wasn't until 2 days before he was born that we found out that she was 38 weeks pregnant. My fiance at the time and I had been together 8 years and planned to get married 1 year in the future. We are both dedicated professionals and live together. We've talked about having children and decided that it wasn't a good time for us, that we might try one day, but nowhere in the near future. One day I was driving to work, my thoughts drifting aimlessly, and I received a phone call from my wife. I was expecting the usual conversation. Instead, she was nervous and informed me of those 2 life-altering words. I'm pregnant. I was shocked. We use protection. We're very careful. She's also on birth control, and we've never had a close call in the past. We kind of thought having a child would be difficult for her. Little did I know I would be at a labor and delivery room in less than 2 weeks. My wife got an appointment with her doctor. They performed a blood test and found that she was 4 to 8 weeks pregnant. When I came home, we found time for an honest discussion about our unplanned journey into parenthood. We acknowledged that the timing wasn't ideal given our recent home purchases and impending nuptials. Yet we realized that with love and determination, we could adapt and make it work. At least we had time to adjust to this unexpected twist in our lives. Little did we know what was about to unfold. 1 week later, on Wednesday, I took a half day off work to join my wife for her first ultrasound appointment. We were expecting to find out the due date. We found out that she was in her 3rd trimester and 38 weeks pregnant, with a due date of 10 days in the future. My wife burst into tears. I did my best to hold my composure and reassure her that everything was going to be all right. Like it wasn't the biggest event in our lives we were completely unprepared for. We decided to fast forward our nuptials. Around 10 o'clock that night, we visited a courthouse and legally bound ourselves in matrimony, signing our names on the official documents. I turned to my wife, reminding her that when I proposed, my intentions were sincere. I knew without a doubt that I wanted to spend my life with her, and that's what truly mattered to me. That night, I had to travel for work. I was up all night, and not in the way I expected I would be on my wedding night. At work, I informed my boss of my situation and that I could have to unexpectedly leave at any time because my fiance, who was now my wife, could go into labor at any moment. That was a difficult conversation. That night, I came home from work. I have a 2-hour commute and work 10 hours 4 days a week. My wife was exhausted. She had to do 9 months worth of doctor's appointments in 1 day. We both fell asleep quickly. About 3 hours later, she woke me up and said her water broke. She was having contractions and had to go to the hospital. We timed the contractions and found that they were only 5 minutes apart and rushed to the hospital. We didn't even have a go bag or car seat, nothing. My wife's labor was only 3 hours and she did not get an epidural because it happened so fast. I remember thinking, wow, I can't believe this is happening so fast, but that seemed to be the trend. Before I knew it, I held my son for the first time and it didn't even hit me. I was still in shock and disbelief, but I was happy and immensely proud of my wife. We stayed in the hospital for 3 days and found that my son was healthy. I was so nervous something would be wrong because my wife had no prenatal care. For those 3 days, I took care of my son while my wife was still recovering. I did not rest. I was either preparing our house for his arrival or taking care of my son. I literally had nothing ready. I know fathers often say that they are not ready, but I literally wasn't. Somehow I managed to get the essentials with help from friends. It was time to go home, and that scared me the most. The hospital was just going to let us go with this surprise baby and wished me good luck. The drive home was overwhelming. All of a sudden, I had a family of my own. I'd never driven so slow in my life. For the next 3 days, I let my wife sleep. I did not sleep for 5 days straight. I took care of my son at night and worked on essential tasks all day. There was just too much to do. It got to the point where I could not function anymore. I've never been so tired and delirious in my life. Finally, my wife was feeling a little bit better and let me get rest for 1 night. I did not know to save my PTO from work, and I only had 1 week. They were literally constant things that were important and needed to get done. Even with my wife's help, there just wasn't enough time. My wife and I were in survival mode. I look back and don't understand how we were able to function. We didn't have much help. My family was away on a cruise and had quite a surprise when they got cell service again, but we managed. Now it is 2 months later and things are just starting to settle down. I realize I'm starting to process what happened. For the past 2 months, I've just been in survival mode, and now it's hitting me how much happened in 1 week. It's like my mind couldn't process how fast reality was. It feels like I ran a 3-second quarter mile. I did have a slight mental breakdown recently. I feel like most people think that time has passed and everything's okay now, but it's lately that it's been hitting me so much harder. How much my life changed. I love my wife and son, but I cannot help looking back and feel like I should have done more and been more prepared. Now I know what everyone's gonna ask. How did you not know? That's the number one question I get, and my wife gets as well, but there was literally no signs. My wife had no morning sickness, did not show. My wife even claims to have had her normal cycle the whole time. Just 2 weeks before my son was born, we had no idea he even existed. Is it wrong that now that things worked out, I feel the weight of what happened? Comment 1, it isn't wrong to feel the overwhelming feeling of everything that happened, but try to enjoy it and get settled in. I have 4 kids now, and I can honestly say you're never ready, even after the first one. You both had a blessing in disguise. Our first baby, it was worrying about everything leading up to the birth. Finances, getting the house ready, trying to get us ready. The very short window may have been exhausting, but in the long run, you save at least 6 months of stress. Even when you have all those months to prepare, it really is close to having all the time for some reason. There isn't time to get everything done. Kudos to you guys for getting it figured out even faster. The no sleep, no time off, autopilot you have to go into would have happened anyway. I had to work on and off the day our first was born. Wow. I worked right across from the hospital. I had to go back and forth because her labor was so long and my work was not prepared for me to be gone yet. It is amazing what we can do when we have to. Try to enjoy it. And folks, that is the end of that story.